Hello, this is Mark Farrar with Not Square Design, and if you need any of this information, you can pause the beginning of the recording and grab my contact info. But let's just kind of scroll down to look what we're dealing with here. We had a garage that burnt down. There's a gas line in this general area down here that just blasted hot gas, well, flames, right at this building, and it all the rafters are basically destroyed. There's a couple at the front, maybe salvageable, but the ceiling joist did very well. And on this side over here, where the major blasting occurred, only the first two seem to be severely damaged. On this side, it's actually worse. So I have a feeling that even though this was where it was getting blasted, it went to the other side. So today I'm just kind of working on some stuff from being out there the last 2 days, measuring and entering stuff, but I've got work to do to get it into AutoCAD and Chief Architect. And so this video is just to kind of let the owners know where I'm at. And so what I've got is the interior wall. I've got a bunch of elements in here, but they're not dimensioned correctly. The only one I've located so far is post 1 is properly located along with my shooting of this exterior wall, or the interior side of the exterior wall. So I'm going to work on this, put this on pause, and come back to it later. Before I get to that, for those of you who do use Chief Architect, turn off my library there and get this evened out. Not that it's that critical, but this is the basement. I did some work on this last night, and then just realized this is so much slower than AutoCAD. So if I just do an AutoCAD, drop it in here, trace it, bring it back. But upstairs, I moved my other side of this big screen to upstairs. So now here, if I take a look at this guy and its properties, and I look at the structure, and then I go to the floor structure and edit it, let me show you the issue first. For those of you who use Chief, let's see what's going on. So on the other side of my screen, kind of looks like it might be correct here, but it's not. I think part of this is the fact that the sun's not shining in this room, the lights aren't on in this room, none of that's happening. But and even the foreign material may be the wrong material, because it should be just like this one back here with OSB, and just sheathing across there. It's not OSB in this house, but it's a good substitute for the material for right now. But what's causing this effect is if I go back to my floor plan drawing and double click in that room, and then I go to my structure tab, go to my floor structure, and then I see this EPDM up top. It's clicked as framing. And so that EPDM material was going to be showing at 16 inches on center. This sheathing, and it is 2 layers. It's actually not sheathing. It's 45 degrees of hatch. So I just turn off those 2, and I'm going to hit OK, and OK here. And if I go back to that room, you'll see this one has EPDM on it, and I might have it upside down. Let's see what we got. Sometimes I can use this 3D mouse to cut into materials just enough. So there's the first layer, second layer. Nope, I'm not seeing it. So what's happening with this material that shouldn't be, come on over here, materials. Let's check this guy out. Not molding, floors, EPDM. Oh, black. So I thought I had an EPDM with a white top on it, and yeah, this is the wrong EPDM. So I probably have to actually go to library materials, type in EPDM, because although it's kind of black through the inside, I want it to look somewhat like it really does, and so I just turn it to white or even gray. Well, that's a dark gray, so I'm gonna go with white. Could I go in there, alter the materials, get the exact color I want? Absolutely. But so this is just to show that we've got a subfloor in here, and I don't know yet if, and I'll find out more, if this has also 2 layers when you go into other rooms. Right now I'm just showing a 3/4 inch, and even though it's not OSB, it's the right thickness, and it's a subfloor, so it's doing the job that I want it to do. And what it really looks like, it is this EPDM little white on top, and this is kind of a rubberized material in some areas, and some areas it's not. As I go along here, I probably have a shot trying to give myself just measurements so you can kind of see the material. So I've got about a 3/4, You can see it's got some variations. Very old home. And actually a kit home. This was sold by Sears and Roebuck. So that is within this room. It's this stuff here. And the shots were taken right where the return air comes up and out. And there's my site setup. My little Surface Pro to come in, do all these measurements, spend 2 days, and now we're putting it in for the clients. What I keep also is a whole bunch of photos. Attic, make them home, arrange them. Basement is about the stairs, the on-demand, the joists on the north side of the basement. There's 2 sides of the beam running through the middle, and they are lapping each other. Base south side partition wall, information about that. And then here's the information there. So I break it down into all this stuff. And then also I have sketches, and although if you work with a drafter or somebody, a lot of this stuff you might have to be a little more specific with than I am being here. If I give myself enough information, hey, this is the north wall, now I can position and know which way was which. I also did a video and said, and labeled this in the video as post 3, 4, 5 on down, and all the posts that are in the basement. So also did videos of problems that were down there, that sort of thing. So while this may be gibberish to some, it's helpful to me. I can locate the windows, and I don't believe that I have the window size on here, but I have it in a video. So one way or another, I have a lot of information, and then there's Bosch. I use a Bosch laser measurer, and so here I can actually go in and look for dimension I labeled, and I can actually see exactly where I shot it. It's a cool little device because it allows me to see what part of the wall I hit. In some cases, maybe it's not a wall. Maybe it's something that's more obscure and I need better information. So, such as this. What did I hit? Curiously, this is probably a toss away because it wasn't level. But if it had been a good one, there would be actual crosshair in that location. Or in some cases, I can see the laser indoors. Device shoots up to 400 feet outdoors, and you can zoom in on stuff before you take the shot. Because outdoors, sometimes you can't see your lake point. But I don't have any examples of that. Here's one that's way out. So this would be just something that you just take and get rid of it. But that's the information I'm working with to get this straightened out. Got this basement looking pretty good, and I thought before I moved on and even did maybe some actual prints, which sometimes make it easier to read. I kind of use this color one because I can see the lay of the land here with the part that's underneath it, actually on top in this case. But this is the first story, and what is really kind of nice is that as I laid it out, got all my dimensions in, that this stair right at the wall above this faded portion is the image above. This is that whole other drawing just kind of laid in here, and you can see that the stud hits perfectly, and you can see that there's this hanging out, and then there's a stud wall right behind this plaster here. So it's looking very nice. All this is the beam itself. Got about 3 inches or so of drop back in, and so here it's from center of beam out, it's 3 inches to represent like the 6x6 plus a little as we had in that picture. So this is looking really good. These white columns are remaining white at this point in time to remind me that I don't have locations. Got some of the duct and trunk runs in here. Got some gas line work in here. Got the drains height to the joist above, but I don't have any dimensions to it because I haven't. Got a tiny bit of work to do, but that stuff is not super critical. It's mainly the fact that this is hitting where I need to, and the fact that there's some stuff I need to discuss with you guys about bays 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. These have been compromised by an earlier remodel. So just wanted to tell you about that. Obviously it's held up, so whether or not you decide to fix it will be up to you. I'll just show you what's going on. We'll just offer a little progress report. This is where I am with this pretty far along. I still have the white columns I gotta answer. Stairs are looking even a little better. Mechanical stuff is coming in. Putting together a little list in case Kelly and Brianna get to the site, and I'll do a quick little video for them to help them understand what I'm looking for measurement wise. Next level up, I've got the walls pochade so they show up better. Doors are in. This is a little bit difficult to read, but this is the up starting there on the curve and then on up to the attic, ending in these gray ones that are dashed. Then the hidden line has 3 lines, and so that means it's below. So that starts here at this first angled step and then goes down underneath this other step, just to show us where they are. We are going to probably get rid of that so it's not critical information, but I think it's spot on. Back out here is looking good. Put the garbage can kind of where I figure you probably keep it, so you can just reach it probably right off the deck, and then we'll figure out how we're going to tie the buildings together and make all that work. Garage wise, this is the garage, and so this is kind of envisioning with the shed situation, and it'd be one of those things where I'd say, hey, do you want to have a double door that comes under, and we'll have to figure these stairs out. They're not going to be able to go in this location. They'll be some hybrid. I've got to work on that when we get to this design stage. But they'll be asking if you want double doors out this direction or a single door accessing. You could have both, but then you do lose wall space to actually keep stuff in this. So depends on what your needs are. Otherwise, the garage is looking good. I think I've got my distance about averaged out. I am going to keep it square. If you guys watched that video I sent specifically for Kelly to help me understand what's best for him and that sort of thing. So something's creating a really long Get rid of that. I can get rid of these too, I'm sure. Oh, I want those dimension ones. I can get rid of these two. These ones are for dimensioning. That just helps me get out there. They don't print. So when you see these lines going off into infinity, that's all that is. Then the working drawing is where I take the plans and the elevations. I'll have the basement on the lower side. Probably try and get that set up quickly here. So I just go like to xref, go down to as built. That was level 1. I want level 0. As built level 0. Now that it's there, I come in and just kind of show you what this really means. Back out to my AutoCAD as builds, and I go for the as built level 0, open it, and then I just go ahead and let it drop in. Now it dropped right on top of here. And so what I want to do with that is move it below. And I'll move it straight down for right now. And now you can see it's down below. And then it creates all this mess, but it's an externally referenced drawing, so it's not really here. So I'll take and just grab the info that I need. Specify the first corner. All I need from here, there, and it cuts out all that extraneous stuff. Do I want dimensions? Maybe. A lot of times I don't use them when I'm just drawing this stuff up, so I don't need the dimensions. So I can freeze that layer, clean it up a bit, make it easier to read. And then I'll get these in alignment, because obviously this needs to be aligned with this, and so on. So that's pretty easy. You just go X line vertical, drop that in there, and then move this from that corner to there, and that is all aligned. So now I could draw the basement under here. And that's how that works. Rotate it and put it all along, and that's how I come up with the elevations and stuff in here in this pro. And then this is just doors and window schedule, that kind of thing that I cut and paste your drawings. I don't need to save that. I'm kind of wrapping up. This is an older version, but I keep it in an archive so I can grab stuff off of it, because like I've got this that was part of the concept stuff I was working early on, that I don't want to just throw away, because I can grab it instead of having to redraw it. So I'll close that, say yes to saving it. I don't need my tags, and I don't want to change them, so I'll say no. Learn from that. Here I hit save. What I usually do is I'll start like at the bottom, and I can look at my XREF. This one is unloaded, so you can't see it, but if I reload it, you'll see it pop in there, and that's the floor above. And that's kind of how that works, to make sure that I've got my alignment from floor to floor. So here I have different things, because I've got level 0. I also have the garage. So if I reload that, it just pops it right in here. Now I've got that spacing 4, 8, and 5/8. I'll have Kelly throw a tape on that next time he's out there, just as a check against me. Never a bad idea to have somebody check in the back. So then I want to unload. Just gotta be careful not to detach, because you can't undo that. Then this one, this as-built one, if I load that, that's actually from the model, and that's oops, this there. Turn the highlighter on. And so this is sitting here, and oops, I need to click on it to get it right. And so as you can see, it's starting to look like a house. I don't have the porch and stuff on here yet, but steering wheel. It's definitely easier on this computer, as I was telling you before. I've got work to do. Like I don't need framing in my windows. Actually, that's probably a really quick fix now that I've got this thing done. So if I were to go to build, let's just see if it'll straighten it out. Build all the framing. Boom, it did. Good. Save there. Come through and look at my floors, windows. The block looks good. A regular block. Something's going on with this deck. It's supposed to be 2 inches below the laundry floor, and it's putting it at grade. So I'll figure that out. But garage distance is good, but the relative height is set correctly, and so I bet there's grass in here. Nope. It's just above. Look at that. Oh, it cut it out. So if you look here, the grass is above the door. But that's because I haven't given my terrain lines, which are these lines here, I haven't told them how high my elevation is. It's sloping, and that's straightened out. And then this little slope to show us what we've really got. And then ceiling in here, because it's got that drop ceiling on the front porch. Put in the stairs, paint it red. Also, I've got the right height here, but I'd like to have that lip there. Drop that around the edge. And then I can go in the basement, and my columns are coming in. The ones that I don't have are the ones that are missing, and then I will get this stuff laid out to show. Better explain the issue on here. And these joists sit on top of this beam, so got a little work to do down here, but need stairs, all sorts of stuff. So that just to kind of give you an update of where I'm at, and then the attic, probably what it used to look like, and don't know why that wall's there, but that out, and this guy here too, I'm not sure, but that's just glitches that are auto builds, probably to do with this here, and this isn't even building properly yet because I have a split in the block. So got a little bit of work to do as to why this roof is so high, why it's not sitting on the plate. Issue is when I bring it down to the height I need, you always need this door. So I've got to find the perfect spot in the right height. So that is how the model's looking. And what I'm trying to determine now is if I can get this to where I've got all the detail that I'm going to need, and maybe I can save a little money by not needing to scan the lot. If I've got this great of information, we may not need to. So I'll discuss that with you guys, see if it's something you want to do, and give you the cost differential. I do have a lot of time into the 2 days of sitting at site, a couple days prepping. Some of that was concept, so that would be part of the design process, so that's not in the as-built. Still need to do the life safety report and come up with a solution, but that wouldn't be part of that either. That's actually that would be, but you might be able to save, I don't know, $500 or something off if we don't have to do the scan. I think I've got hours in here to get close, but I think I could pull it off. We'll see. Might do it just to help you guys out. And so if you really want it, and it's worth $500 to have this scan, and make sure it's wonderfully accurate. Obviously, this needs more. Then we can certainly do it. What it would give us that would be beneficial but not critical is really good topography information that I actually just import, and it would be exactly as it is at this point in time. So let's say Kelly wanted it different, and he wanted it to show up different, he could go out there and final grade it right now, and I could actually have it scanned. If he got it graded before the scan showed up, then this would reflect exactly whatever it looked like. But it's pretty straightforward, fairly flat lot. I don't know if that's necessary. So that's where I'm at. And I'm going to seam this together with the one I did earlier today and then ship it off. So this is the list so far. You can freeze this, Kelly, if you want to read it, but I will be adding this anyway. And then, where are we at? Here. That's the keyword set. So this was the skewed slab video, which is where we started. No, that was the earlier video. This is just a progress report to kind of show how we're dealing with this fire. So I have contact information if anybody else needs help with this, with any residential or commercial projects. Feel free to give me a call. Montana, Oregon, and Washington. Work in all 3 states. And other than that, I will talk to the Belchies soon. Thank you for letting me post this project on YouTube as we go along. This is Mark Farrar, Not Square Design. Have a good night.